The classic touchline wingback, run straight cross, repeat. This is the original wingback blueprint. Stay wide, hug the line, sprint like you owe someone money, and whip crosses until the opposition fullback starts begging for mercy. It's pure width, pure lungs, pure suffering. The idea is simple. Stretch the pitch, overlap the winger, and deliver balls into the box like you're a human catapult. If your team is stuck, this wingback is the emergency lever. Pull it, and suddenly the game becomes a crossing festival. Think of old school systems where the wingback is basically a winger with defensive responsibilities. You're not here to be clever, you're here to be relentless. It works because it pins the opponent back, creates overloads out wide, and forces defenders to face their own goal. But the dark side is obvious. If you lose the ball, you're 40 yards upfield, turning around and watching a counterattack like it's a horror movie. Beautiful, simple, exhausting, and just wait, because the next wingback type doesn't even stay on the wing. The inverted wingback, the fullback who teleports inside. This wingback starts wide and then casually drifts into midfield like he forgot his job title. 1 second he's on the touchline, the next he's standing next to your number 6, demanding the ball like a playmaker. The idea is simple. Instead of overlapping outside, step inside and overload the center. Now your team has an extra midfielder, your buildup becomes cleaner, and the opposition press starts malfunctioning. This is the wingback for managers who hate being pressed. It turns the pitch into a geometry problem. Opponents step out to press the midfield. Congratulations, the wingback is now free inside. They stay wide? Cool. Your team has a central overload and walks through them. It works because it stabilizes possession, kills counterattacks before they're born, and lets your team camp in the opponent's half. But the dark side is brutal. Lose the ball, and the wide space behind you becomes a runway. One switch of play, and you're sprinting back like your life depends on it. It's genius. It's risky. It's the kind of tactic that makes normal fullbacks look unemployed. And the next one is even worse, because it's not inside. It's basically everywhere. The box-to-box wingback, unlimited stamina, limited peace. Some wingbacks don't have a role, they have a curse. They're expected to defend the back post, carry the ball 50 meters, overlap, underlap, press, recover, and still have the energy to sprint again in the 93rd minute. The idea is simple, be the engine of the entire flank. When the team attacks, you become a winger. When the team defends, you become a fullback. And when the game gets messy, you become a firefighter. This is the wingback you see in high-tempo systems, where the wide areas are a war zone and the manager wants constant waves of pressure. It works because it gives your team width, verticality, and a permanent outlet. You can switch play to him, and suddenly you're progressing up the pitch. But the dark side is that this role is basically a fitness test, disguised as a position. If you lose concentration for 1 second, you're caught between two worlds. Too high to defend, too deep to attack. And when fatigue hits, mistakes arrive like clockwork. This wingback is a machine, a weapon, a marathon runner with studs. And now we go from run forever to run, but with violence. The aggressive pressing wingback, the flank hitman. This wingback doesn't defend by sitting back, he defends by hunting. He steps high, snaps into duels, and presses like the opponent personally insulted his family. The idea is simple, win the ball early and keep the opponent trapped. Instead of waiting for danger, you delete danger before it exists. This is the wingback in gegenpressing systems, where the sideline is your best friend because it acts like an extra defender. You press the winger, cut off the inside pass, and force them into the corner like a tactical mugging. It works because it compresses the pitch, creates turnovers in dangerous areas, and turns defending into attacking. One interception and suddenly your team is in the box before the opponent even breathes. But the dark side is that it's a high wire act. If the opponent beats your press with one clean pass, you're gone. The space behind you is open, the back line is exposed, and your center back is now screaming at you in 4 languages. It's organized violence. And next up is the wingback who doesn't even need violence, because he's basically a winger with a disguise. The attacking wingback, winger in witness protection. This wingback is not here to defend, he's here to cause problems. He lives in the final third, receives the ball high, and treats the opposition full back like a traffic cone. The idea is simple. Turn the wingback into an extra forward. In possession, your team basically attacks with 5. The wingbacks stretch wide, the forwards stay central, and the opponent's backline starts panicking. This is the wingback you see under managers who love overloads and cutbacks. He arrives late at the edge of the box. He makes underlapping runs. He appears unmarked because defenders are busy tracking the real attackers. It works because it creates width and surprise at the same time. The winger drags a defender inside. The wingback is free outside. The winger stays wide. The wingback underlaps into the half space like a thief. But the dark side is obvious. When you lose the ball, this guy is basically a spectator. And now your team needs a back 3 that can defend the entire pitch on their own. It's beautiful when it works. It's suicidal when it doesn't. And speaking of suicidal, here comes the wingback that turns defending into a full-time job. The defensive wingback, third center back on the wing. Not every wingback is a runway sprinter. Some are bouncers. This wingback stays deeper, holds his position, and treats the far post like sacred ground. The idea is simple. Protect the back line and win duels. You don't bomb forward every time. You pick your moments. You defend first and attack later. This type shows up when teams face elite wingers or when the manager wants stability instead of chaos. He'll track runners, cover the channel, and basically make sure the back 3 doesn't get dragged into disaster. It works because it keeps your shape intact. You don't get countered as easily. You don't concede cheap transitions. And against a top winger, survival is a tactic. But the dark side is that your attack can become toothless. If your wingback never threatens the final third, the opponent can squeeze inside and overload midfield. You're safe, but you're predictable. This wingback is football realism. And now we go from realism to pure tactical weirdness. The underlapping wingback, the ghost runner. This wingback doesn't run outside, he runs inside. While everyone expects the overlap down the touchline, he sneaks into the half space like he's breaking into the box through a side door. The idea is simple, underlap into the channel between fullback and center back. That's the zone defenders hate because it forces split-second decisions. Follow him or hold the line. This wingback thrives in systems with wide wingers who stay outside. The winger pins the full back, the wingback runs inside, and suddenly the opponent's defense is being sliced open from within. It works because it creates cutback angles, central shooting positions, and chaos in the most dangerous area of the pitch. The best part, he often arrives unmarked because defenders are too busy watching the forwards. But the dark side is that it's risky positioning. If the move breaks down, you're not wide to stop the counter, and you're not central enough to recover. You're stuck in no man's land. It's elegant, it's sneaky, and now we speed run the most misunderstood wingback of all time. The crossing merchant wingback. Spam until it works. You know this guy. He gets the ball, looks up, ignores every short option, and launches a cross like he's trying to hit the moon. The idea is simple. Volume. If you cross enough times, eventually something happens. A header, a rebound, a deflection, a defender panicking. It's ugly, it's repetitive, it drives possession purists insane. But if you have a target man in the box, it becomes football terrorism that somehow pays the rent. It works because defenders hate constant aerial pressure. You can defend one cross, you can defend 2, but after the 10th, somebody switches off. The dark side is that it can kill your rhythm. You become predictable, you lose control, and you gift the opponent transitions if your crosses keep getting blocked. Anyway, next crime. The playmaker wingback. Quarterback on the touchline. This wingback isn't just running, he's creating. He receives deep, steps forward, and starts pinging diagonals like a midfielder trapped in a defender's body. The idea is simple, make the wingback the passer who breaks lines. Instead of always dribbling, he progresses the ball with vision. This type appears in teams that want to switch play constantly. He'll draw pressure on the flank, then whip a pass across the pitch that instantly flips the game state. One touch, one pass, and suddenly your winger is 1 versus 1. It works because it gives your build-up another brain. Opponents can press your midfield all they want. If your wingback can play through it, you're free. But the dark side is that creativity comes with risk. A failed pass isn't just a turnover. It's a counterattack straight into the space you left behind. It's control disguised as width. And now we've reached the final form. The wingback that doesn't just play wide, he plays the entire match. The hybrid wingback, the system breaker. This is the modern monster wingback. He overlaps when needed, underlaps when needed. Inverts, when needed, presses high, defends deep, and somehow still shows up at the back post. The idea is simple, be whatever the system demands. One match, you're a winger. The next match, you're a midfielder. The next match, you're basically a center back with speed. This is the wingback every elite manager wants because it makes tactics flexible in real time. If the opponent overloads wide, you invert. If they block the middle, you stay wide. If they press high, you drop and build. If they sit deep, you attack like a forward. It works because it turns the wingback into a constant advantage. The opponent can't plan for one version of you because you don't have one version. You have 5. But the dark side is the same as always. One bad decision, one mistimed run, one lazy recovery, and the entire flank collapses. Because when you're asked to do everything, mistakes become louder. This wingback is football's ultimate multi-tool. And the scariest part, this is where the position is heading permanently. Wingbacks aren't just wide defenders anymore. They're systems on legs. They're the reason back threes work, presses succeed, and attacks feel unstoppable. So next time someone says wingback is just a fullback but higher, remember, that job description is a lie. Because in football, the wingback isn't a position. It's a test of courage, stamina, and tactical sanity.